Welcome students of class 10. I am back to you with lesson 5, Natural Vegetation of India. Now the first concept is about what is natural vegetation. The answer is natural vegetation means any plants or trees that grow on their own naturally without any form of human intervention. They have been left undisturbed by humans for a long time. We call this virgin vegetation. It is otherwise called as virgin vegetation. So I repeat again, natural vegetation is all those plants and trees which grow on their own without any human interference or human intervention. They are called the natural vegetation. Now there are some areas now all over the world on the earth's surface which is left with natural vegetation which is actually which has not been tampered by human interference, and there are only traces of such areas. Name such areas where virgin vegetation is found in India: Himalayas, hilly regions of central India, mangrove forest, that is the Sundarbans, and the desert vegetation, that is Thar desert. These are some of the regions where we find virgin vegetation still existing in India. The next question is, what percentage of forest covers our country? According to State of Forest Report 2013, the total forest cover of the country is 22% of the total geographic area of the country. So it is only 22% of the forest that covers the country, entire country. Then the next question is, what is the importance of forest? Forests are not only important for human beings and animals but also for plants, the planet Earth as a whole. So forests, they are not only important for human beings, they are also a support for the animals and also for the entire planet, that is the Earth. Therefore, forests are not only important to sustain all kinds of life, it also controls the climate and is an important source of economy. You must be knowing that forests are an important source of economy because we derive a lot of forest products from the forest. Now let's see how are the forests useful. Now these are the following ways in which the forests are useful. Number one, forests provide livelihood. Over 2 billion people rely on forest for shelter, livelihood, food and fuel security. So forests provide livelihood to people. That means they are a source of income. They sustain their livelihood. Over 2 billion people rely on forest for shelter, livelihood, food and fuel security. Second, forests are biodiversity hotspots. Forests are home to more than 80% of all terrestrial species of animals, plants and insects. So that is how they support a large broad spectrum of biodiversity. 80% of all terrestrial species of animals, plants and insects, they are found in the forest. Forests serve as a watershed. First of all, you should know what is a watershed. A watershed is a high piece of land that catches rainfall and other precipitation and divides the flow of water into a marsh, stream, river, lake or groundwater. So that is what is a watershed. It's a high piece of land which actually catches the precipitation, which is either in form of rainfall or it could be snowfall, and that is how it divides the flow of water into the marsh, stream, river, lake or groundwater. Therefore, a watershed which is forested absorbs all types of precipitation and is useful in the following ways. So, any watershed which will be densely forested or is full of vegetation will provide as a very, very ideal watershed. Why? Because it will be useful in the following ways. Number one, it recharges the aquifers. Where are the aquifers, children? They are the underground storage of water which is found in the porous rocks. They are called as the aquifers. Then number two, sustain the stream flows. The streams which radiate from these stored water in the watershed will be forming into minor streams which will run into the rivers. Number three, it filters pollutants from air as well as the surface runoffs. So, trees also act as a filter. They filter the pollutants from the air as well as the surface runoffs. Number four, provide critical habitat for fish and wildlife. So, for fish and wildlife, it becomes a habitat. The watershed becomes a habitat. And number six, it supports local economies. Local economies by providing them with firewood, by providing them with forest products, etc. And number seven, provides inexpensive source of drinking water. So, a watershed is also a source of drinking water. Then, the fourth benefit, economic benefit of the forest. Forests sustain a large number of full-time jobs such as logging, lumbering, forest tourism, etc. So, the economic benefit is that they give a full-time and a permanent source of earning for many people, and those people particularly who are engaged in logging, in lumbering activities, in extraction of forest products, tourism, etc. The forest provides them economic benefit. Climatic control, carbon dioxide which is produced by burning fossil fuel contributed to global warming. Trees use energy from sunlight to convert carbon dioxide in the atmosphere into sugars, and in this way the trees act as a control of the climate. And now the last one is the sixth point. Forests help in regulating atmospheric temperature. Trees and soil help in regulating atmospheric temperature through a process called evapotranspiration. They enrich the atmosphere by absorbing greenhouse gases and producing oxygen. So, forests help in regulating atmospheric temperature. How? The trees and soil help in regulating atmospheric temperature through a process which is called as evapotranspiration. You know, the excess of water in the trees is lost through this particular process which is called as transpiration, and that is how trees act as coolers, you know. And people during the summer season like to take refuge under the shade of the tree. It's because it produces this particular process produces a cooling effect in the surrounding region. They also enrich the atmosphere by absorbing greenhouse gases and producing oxygen. Then the next question is, what geographical factors affect natural vegetation? Climate, soil and topography. These are the three major geographical factors which affect the natural vegetation of a place. Next question, what are the various categories of forest which are found in India? We are now studying about the subcontinent India, so we will deal with only those forests which are found in major tracts in various areas in India. The first one is tropical evergreen forest. The second one, tropical deciduous or monsoon forest. The third one, tropical deserts. The fourth, littoral forest or tidal mangrove forest. And the fifth one is a mountain forest. Now the first one is tropical evergreen forest, which is also called as the rainforest. Now such rainforest you may be remembering, children, they are also found in the equatorial belt, in the Indonesian islands, on either side of the equator, wherever the equator runs through whichever continent, on either side of the equator, with the Amazon basin, the Congo basin, all these are they abound in the tropical evergreen forest, otherwise called as the rainforest, the tropical rainforest. Now let us gaze through the characteristic features of the tropical evergreen forest. We will study them in under separate headings. First, the climatic requirement of this kind of forest, which is called as the tropical evergreen forest or the rainforest. Number one, they are found in areas receiving more than 200 centimeters of rainfall. Remember, this kind of a forest, which is rainforest, it has been named as a rainforest because rainfall actually governs the good growth of this vegetation which is found in the these areas, the tropical evergreen forest. Then the average temperature is 24 degrees Celsius and 27 degrees Celsius. Next question, why are they called evergreen forest? Why are these forests named in this typical, by given this typical name of evergreen? It is because different trees germinate, grow and wither at different times, allowing the entire vegetation to look like evergreen forest, and that is why in fact it is called as evergreen. There is no particular leaf shedding season of the evergreen trees. They grow and they germinate and wither at different times of the year. Therefore, the entire forest is always with few trees having foliage in them. Therefore, it gives them an evergreen look. The next question, why are the forests impenetrable? They are characterized by dense growth of trees of varying heights competing for sunlight. With climbers and epiphytes. Due to thick canopy, sunlight does not penetrate through and the floor of the forest is quite dark. So it is because that the trees are characterized by dense growth of trees with varying heights competing for sunlight. If you look at a tropical evergreen forest, children, have an aerial view of it, you will find it shows or it displays a layered structure with short height trees, medium height trees and the tallest trees, which display a layered structure, and they are so very dense. So the trees are so close to each other that, and the foliage and the branches spread out to a large distance, occupying a big diameter, and therefore it actually makes the sunlight almost impossible to penetrate and reach the forest floor. And not only that, there are climbers and epiphytes also, due to which the sunlight is not able to penetrate through and the floor of the forest is quite dark. These forests have a large variety of species which are not found in pure stands. They are not found in pure stands. It's a very, very important characteristic of the tropical evergreen forest. And what are the uses? The common uses of tropical evergreen forest is they produce valuable hardwood which is used for making expensive furniture. Now, the wood which is produced by these tropical evergreen trees, they are really very valuable, very expensive, and the furnitures which are made out of them last a very, very long time. You may find, going to your ancestral houses, you may find such pieces of furnitures which have been kept as decorative pieces. They are as antique pieces which are stored in our houses, which remind us of our forefathers particularly. Now we will go into the details of these species. At first, rosewood. Now, rosewood is a tree which belongs to the tropical evergreen forest. These are hard, fine-grained and durable. They are very, very durable. Remember, the wood of these forests are so very hard and fine-grained that termites cannot attack the wood, and once the nails are driven into it, they do not cause any kind of rusting. That is the quality of this wood which is found in the evergreen forest. The second, they are used for making expensive furniture. And the third, they are found in western side of Western Ghats, Kerala and Karnataka. Remember, you may be asked about the areas where this species of trees are found, or you may be asked about the states. So I have mentioned both the areas as well as the states. The areas are the western side of Western Ghats and the states are Kerala and Karnataka. The next important species is shisham. That is, it's a hardwood. It is used for making expensive furniture. They are found in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, western slopes of Western Ghats, parts of Maharashtra, Karnataka, Assam, Meghalaya and Nagaland. So again, I have given you in the order of areas as well as states. You will remember them in the same way because the questions will be given separately. Name the areas or name the states. The next one is mahogany. These are commercially important. It is used to make furniture, musical instruments, wall paneling, etc. And where is it found? It is found in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, western slopes of Western Ghats, Maharashtra, Karnataka, etc. Now the next species is ebony. Ebony, these are used as ornamental wood, guitar picks, black pieces in chess, and they are found in the same areas as mahogany. They are found in the same areas and same states where mahogany is found. So I conclude today. Stay tuned for the next video session. Goodbye and take care.